Yes, what's up everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Supercar Diaries here in South Africa, in Johannesburg, and we are at Race. Now, perhaps you've asked yourself the question, what on earth is Race? Who is Race and what do they do? Well, today's video is going to be all about that. So let's drop into the shop, see what they're all about and who the mastermind is behind it all.
I got the rock star parking everybody wants. Out on the street, 40 feet from the bus stop. Cause every day and every night I'm slamming the bubbly Diet Coke from the stud down on the corner block.
To see you, buddy.
Good morning, good morning.
I think we can probably, for the sake of the show, take these off. Marco, this is obviously the moment people get to have, the viewers get to have an inside look to not just the mastermind behind Race, but also the shop and what we do. I'm going to give you the word. Tell us what Race is about.
Race started in essence in 1996 in the motorcycle world. I went to Europe, to Italy predominantly to race, and acquired a lot of skills in building high-end motorbikes. The scale employed in building a high-end motorcycle is a lot finer than on the car world. So what essentially happened is, when I was building super high-end bikes, the typical client that was buying those bikes had also some pretty amazing cars. Novitec was the first product we ever fitted to the car world. We started Race's automotive adventure in 2008 with Novitec on the first 599s. Also a culture of never saying no to anything.
It's sort of something you can see over here because, I mean, look at that. It's not like that's in every showroom, you know, that's...
No. An opportunity landed on our table to do something that was totally out of our comfort zone. We didn't shy away from it. The componentry that's on that car is on here, and that's what's ironic, is that this was an error set of Forgiatos that were destined to a 458 that didn't fit the correct offsets, and we made it work here.
Special, and this is your very own car.
Yeah, it's a funny story. You know, everyone's always asked, why have you never touched it or tuned it or done anything other than the exhaust? Because it doesn't really need it, and it is so perfect.
Now, just explain to our viewers out there, what's the difference between what Race does and what your sort of tuning scene is?
A concept that I've really tried to employ in the way we do things is that functionality is never lost.
Yes.
One thing is to pursue form and to give you something that looks spectacular, but everything we build works.
Having a European background, you were racing superbikes in Europe, right?
I was racing superbikes, super sports in the late 90s, early 2000s in different fixed make classes. These are some of the most special Ducatis in the world, like the Superleggera, which is ironic because it's really the first time the car and bike world crossed each other's paths with Audi's ownership of Ducati and the concepts of the Superleggera in the Huracans. They employed it here by making a carbon chassis, carbon swing arm, carbon wheels. The car world won't like me saying this, but bikes, technically chassis-wise, are far, far ahead than a car. You can buy a bike that's very close to a MotoGP bike, but you can't buy a car that's very close to a Formula One car.
Before we go into the workshop where we see where really the blood and guts happen over here, this shop is also for people to come in on a daily basis. You can buy apparel, you can try things on, you can see some of the bikes, some of the cars out here.
We try and encourage a little bit more of a service-focused experience where you phone and you say, I'm looking for X, when can I come? And we give you an appointment, please come at 2 o'clock. Of course, you're more than welcome to always walk around, but we've tried to employ a very service-driven business.
Awesome. Marco, take us on a walk through the chop shop.
Side to side, left and right, take it slow, yeah, baby, come on, do it just right. Side to side, left to right, take it slow, yeah, baby, come on, do it just right.
Busy working here and putting what seems to be like a total slick time. And where does that even go on?
Ironically, Scribante Racing, one of the most successful racing teams in South Africa, are our neighbor, and we do all their fitment and balance on their race stuff.
Look at this.
They're fairly advanced stuff, especially the balancer. Not even a handful of them in South Africa. There's a big roller that loads the tire, and you put up to 600 kilos onto the tire, and you can load the tire, and it's a loaded forced balance.
And here we've got, this is pretty much where...
This is a typical day in race. This is an older Brabus build that we're cleaning up. One of our old Novitec F12s that also came in for a detail cleanup, full strip down, painted various parts of the car. This is actually a pretty casual wheel and tire change, people making use of our high-end facility. Novitec Esteso Trofeo, a spectacular car. You tested it this week. Also, clients scraped the front splitter, built last year, but getting cleaned up. Another Novitec Esteso, but on Urus. Ironically, also another cleanup. This is a daily driver. I find it quite normal that once a year you get the car professionally cleaned up and get little nicks and knocks from daily use, trolley marks on the doors removed, little dents pulled, that kind of stuff. This massive fresh job, it's going to be one of the first full Liberty Walk silhouettes in the world, or a handful of the silhouettes that are around in the world. Next week we start chopping and cutting into it. It's fully stripped down. This would be our paint shop, freshly painted sides, freshly rebuilt carbon. And then we've got the bike department. The car department has stolen one of the bike lifts because these nice hydraulic lifts managed to lift this motor up to waist height, and the guys were tinkering. We are restoring a Z1. This is not something we want to do. He's such an important client that he's kind of encouraged us to do it. And the rest is bikes on the way in or bikes on the way out.
And you saying like it's not really something we want to do, but it's a special client. And I have to say, from the whole week spending time here, it is very client fixated. It's all about the client. The mark over here we also see as we're going downstairs, there's quite a bit of biking paraphernalia and things going on.
So this is really the world of race. A lot of my racing on this side, a lot of racing that we've been involved with, teams we've sponsored, cars we've built, bikes we've built. This is a bit of the history of race. This is where we detail, polish, and also inspect the vehicles. Like this car's had an old Brabus build that we built, had a bit of a hard life, and we've gone and identified all the issues around the car with the good lighting, and the quote process starts. Outside wash bays, more Brabus cars ready for delivery, more cars outside, but yeah.
Boss, baby, I'm a boss, calling all the shots, baby, I'm a boss, you know I'm a baller.
Marco, it's been an absolute pleasure, not just harassing you the entire week and making it possible for us just to film all these cars, the Novitec cars, as well as so many others. You're such a connected guy. You've gone out of your way to make it happen for us. The cars were ready in the morning. They were washed, they were clean. Everything just worked, clockwork, in the craziness of Eloise out there. Thank you from Novitec, thank you from me personally for having us and giving us an exceptional week. Also for the little tour. If you guys enjoyed that tour, please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel as well. They've got on Instagram, race1_.
And we've got a small YouTube channel that we will bits and bobs and clips and stuff, but yeah.
Well, I think so far it speaks for itself that this is the place to come when you want to have anything done to your bike or your car, and the man to speak to, Marco over here. So thanks again, Marco. With that, we're signing out. Boom! You guys welcome to subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Novitec Group, Supercar Diaries. We'd love to see you there. Thanks so much and adios.